Gunnery Eternal. A horror story of the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division. March 2025, the beginning of the end. Gunnery began like it always did. Briefings, weapons draws, and the unmistakable scent of CLP mixing with stale energy drinks. The crews of the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division, rolled onto Fort Cavazos ranges, expecting the usual weeks of qualification. They were wrong. It started with the wildfires. The Texas wind turned a stray spark into a raging inferno. Flames danced along the impact area, licking at the edges of the range roads. Within hours, the safety nets filled with chatter. Range shutdowns, evacuation orders, warnings of more high winds. But Colonel Jose Reyes wasn't worried. He stood before the brigade in his perfectly pressed OCPs, arms crossed, watching the smoke curl into the sky. His face, always analytical, betrayed no frustration, just calculation. "We will wait it out," he said, his voice clipped and firm. "No one leaves until every crew is qualified." They waited and waited. By April, the fires had passed, but new problems arose. June 2025, the mud and the madness. The long-awaited rains came, extinguishing the last embers of the wildfires, only to drown the ranges in a deluge of thick, unrelenting mud. Tracks bogged down. Gunnery tables stalled. Soldiers stopped talking about when we go back to garrison. No one knew anymore. Colonel Reyes issued another extension. At night, whispers spread. Some swore they had overheard Reyes on a radio net, talking to higher command. Others claimed those calls never actually went through. Was division even tracking them anymore? October 2025. The brigade forgets the world. Leaves turned, but the tanks still sat in the same places. Soldiers were promoted in the field, their old rank patches discarded in the mud. A platoon sergeant went AWOL, but when they found him, he was just sitting in his Bradley, staring blankly at the gunner's sight. "I don't remember what home looks like," he muttered. Reyes didn't flinch. He simply nodded and said, "Focus on the mission." March 2030, 5 years in the field. The brigade had long stopped counting days. Their families moved on without them. A few brave lieutenants tried to tell Reyes the truth, that gunnery was over, that they were forgotten. He wouldn't listen. "The conditions will improve. We will qualify." But the ranges never reopened, the tanks never fired, and no one ever left. March 2055, old soldiers forgotten. They were old now, gray-haired, wrinkled, uniforms sun-bleached and threadbare. Some still climbed into their tanks each morning, pretending to run through pre-fire checks on sites that hadn't powered on in decades. And in the talk, Colonel Reyes, now white-haired, his uniform still crisp, stood over the same old maps, muttering about crew rosters and firing points. "One more extension," he whispered, and the brigade nodded, because there was no one left to tell them otherwise.